perfect. Like, he's a big man that can cover ice, and he can play very aggressively. So we have a small number of rules in what we're trying to do so that our players can play as fast as possible. But it's that, and it's also then, he gets on the ice with some pretty good players around him that will open ice up. But it's a new kind of thing for him to see him up the ice that much, but he's capable of doing it. We want all our defensemen to do that. But he fits here, and we really felt he would just by. He's a very competitive guy. Like, he competes every shift, closes the gap, he battles, he's physical. And then when the puck's going north, he gets involved. So it looks good.
Edmonton with 2 goals early on. What was the turning point?
I didn't feel, you're down 2-0, you're thinking, well, slow start, but I didn't feel that. I think that we hit a post and the guy made a great save at the other end. I thought both goaltenders made some incredible saves there weren't a lot of B chances. For me, it felt like the bench, there were a whole bunch of A's, and I liked the ones that we had. I thought we played a heck of a game in here tonight. They've got some, beyond world class. Like, those 2 guys' skill level is just not like anybody else's in the league. So they're going to get some chances. But I thought the turning point, I thought at the end of the day, we had people that normally don't get on the score sheet to the extent that they did tonight. That was really important, but it was still going to be Lusteran and Lundell and Reinhart when they loaded that lineup. Those are the 2 best offensive players in the National Hockey League, and I thought they did a hell of a job.
Between the PK and then the 6-on-5 at the end, how impressed you how the team locked it down there in the third?
Yeah, you know what? They're so hard to get a hold of because they can contain pucks and hang on to pucks. But we were penalty kill for sure. I know we gave one up kind of in each in the last 2 or 3 games, but for 6 or 7 games right now, our penalty kill looks really good and really dialed in, and Sergei's a big part of that, but our penalty kill looks good.
Joe Nagajevic got into a fight in the second game. How big is that, not only getting so early in his career with the team, but also the big size advantage the other guy had?
Yeah, he hasn't in his career shown a fear of that. That hasn't deterred him. What I like I know that's there. I've seen all the video on his, and he's willing to do that. But it's his game around that. Sometimes you got to hide those guys. His game's good. Like, he's smart with the puck. He could shoot the puck for sure. But I mean, I like that option in the lineup. I do.
Stenlund, you mentioned guys who scored more than 3 points tonight. Just
3-point night.
Keep continuing to impress you as the season goes on.
Yeah, I would say that. But the best play was around the back post on the kill, right? Like, that's where he has to be elite at his job. We don't expect him to score like Barkov. But when that puck comes around the back of the net and you're a penalty killer, it's more than your job. Like, it takes some skill to do that, to do what he did, and I thought he played great defensively.
You guys have picked up big results this season without star players like Montour. First game without Barkov, and once again you beat a pretty talented team.
Yeah.
What speaks to the testament of the depth on your team?
That's it. It's versions of Lusteran and Lundell. Lundy is in his 3rd year in the NHL, and those 2 guys draw the toughest assignment in the league, and they did a really good job with it. So you can win on any given night, no matter how many injuries you have, but you just can't win long term with key guys out. I think the pro scouts do a phenomenal job finding players that fit the style of hockey that we play, and we brought in some players that helped us survive, and they're still part of our organization, an important part of our depth. So we've got some nice depth there. We've got some good players.
Talk about the ebbs and flows of a season. How important is it to end a road trip with a win and then pick up a win right when you get home?
Well, I still think the toughest thing to do is to come off the West Coast and play with energy. Last year, we did it after the first trip. We came home, we beat Carolina, and it surprised me. Yeah, surprised the heck of me how much energy we played with. These guys are a little different. We're trying to travel a little differently this year, as you know, and we're trying to stay over to get some more rest, and it seemed to pay off because I thought we had good jump here tonight.
You've coached in markets that are pretty die-hard hockey from your birth. I mean, third sellout this season, 19,000 on a Monday night. How have the fans been for you guys?
Like, awesome. You know what? It does matter when you're on the bench and you got one of the teams where you got a lot of fans from the other team, and we don't see their sweaters anymore. It's just all Panther sweaters, right? It matters. You can feel it. The crowd's energized. They have a good time. But it's way different. When the other teams score, it's quiet in our building, and that's the way it should be. And that's nice for the players. I'm glad that the players get to play in that environment, and I think the fans here enjoy the style of hockey we play.
Did Evander give you guys a little bit of a helping hand there? You look like maybe a little.
I don't know.
At 2-0.
When it went 2-0, I don't know if it was Evander, but somebody said something going by a bench. It wasn't Evander. And that probably helped us a little bit because there, you know, 3 guys on each team hanging over the boards, and Wes McCauley was having some fun with it. But I don't know what happened on that one. That one happened. We were all kind of watching this scrum down here, and Sam took a penalty. We weren't happy about the feeling that we just got, you know, it was just going to be one call, and then so I don't know what happened with that one.
But, you know, 2-0, you get the penalty, you get the power play.
Yeah.
He scores, it's 2-1 all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think that's revisionist, and I think it's you as a reporter or analyst of the game will look at those things that's a possibility, but in that game there were 50 turning points, right? There just were. We took some penalties too. They didn't score on them. Had they, that would have been the turning point. But so that game, there was a lot of talent on the ice, and those chances were high end, and both goalies made some really, really good saves. And but it was entertaining as hell,
Thank you.
especially when.